Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Ryan Somerville, and thanks for watching part 3 as Kevin Hay, Matt Collings, and myself discuss how we reworked the trailer for Dune. In this third part, we learn from Kev how he mixed and mastered the music, sound design, and dialogue to create a cinematic mix that heightened the sonic world of Dune. Thanks for watching.
I almost always approach things like the first job is the technical. It's like I had to remove some clicks and pops from rendered files, which always gets me really angry, but then I get kind of perversely happy when I found them because I'm like, well, that,
Sorry.
you know. But it's like, well, you sent me some decent quality bit depth so I could do that, so it wasn't a problem.
Right.
But it's always a thing where I'm like, don't take this the wrong way, Ryan. It's like, for fuck's sake, there's a click in there. But then I'm like, but I found it. I won't say anything, and I wonder if anybody will notice. And I've got this weird, perverse enjoyment of doing work that nobody will notice. I don't even know if that makes sense. But then I went through the vocals and I did it all manually. I decided just using clip gain to write a few things because even though the vocal line was pretty neat, I was like, I don't know if like I wouldn't have so much emphasis there, and I don't know what it was. It's that feeling thing. Um, and then mixing it as I added a little bit of distortion.
Right.
um, and no side chaining, but then all the music went to a subgroup, and the kind of more effectsy ones went to a different subgroup. So for me, I think although you gave me pretty schmick stems, the thing with mixing is that you always want to get down to less. It's like it helps your head if you start with multi tracks and then you go down to 16, then you go down to 8, and you end up with like 3 or 4, and you're like, that's everything now. And I think there's some this kind of cathartic brain space when you're like, that decision's been made. It reminds me of bouncing on tape. It's like, well, we re-recorded over that now, so it's gone.
Committed to it.
It's gone forever, and it's like this. It's so rare that we don't do that these days very often, and so I just wanted to do things like that. And then so a little bit of sidechain, a little bit of compression, a little bit of mixing.
Yeah, because you touched on a bunch of topics I was going to ask you more about. Because assuming because you mentioned side chaining, and I think we should definitely spend at least a few seconds talking about that in the trailer music world,
Yeah.
especially since we're just assuming whoever's watching this has no idea what you're talking about. So let's just touch on that really quick.
So yeah, everybody knows sidechaining, dance music, kick to the bass line. But it's like when the vocals are voicing, when something's being said, it's connected in some signal pathway to the music. And so if I'm talking,
The dialogue you're talking about.
yeah, the dialogue. So if I'm talking, the music gets turned down kind of automatically, and then when I shut up, music comes back up again. And you hear this a lot on radio, and even in supermarkets they use, ducking signals on mics. But it winds me up. That's one of the. If you ever watch The Walking Dead, they do it really dramatically, and especially in season 1 because they couldn't have music because there was no electricity, and it's the end. It's World War Z type vibe. So they used a lot of insects, and it was beautifully done. And then, but when they would talk, you'd notice that the insects would shut, which actually does happen when you're walking, living in a very noisy, buggy world at the minute. And then you stay still, and they all you come back up again. So and I think in Hollywood, big Hollywood trailers, it's kind of done for that kind of push pull. Everything has to be loud. Everything has to be in your face and impactful and kind of bombastic. And sometimes I wonder why. Sometimes I think if you're shouting all the time, then you don't know what loud is. So maybe if you turn things down a little, like the pow in your trailer is probably 6 dB louder than it really needs to be.
I didn't touch that.
Right.
That
So
was there before I got to it.
And and I did that, and I was like, no, okay. So rather than kind of control it, I ducked the earlier sentence or a couple of phrases a little bit more, so it was even more impactful. And because it does. Well, I thought it does make you go like, oh, you know?
Right. Because it is a dream sequence, and she's like saying it to him to like,
yeah,
hey, wake up.
Wake up. You know, it's about to get real.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But again, I did it quickly, and I think
Thanks to you both for coming to have a chat. It was really great to hear how you guys approached this iconic piece of work. And I hope everybody enjoys it.
Thanks for watching part 3. Be sure to hit like and subscribe to keep up to date with all of my latest works. Please check out the links below to learn more about Kev, Matt, and myself. Thanks again for watching.
I can smell it.
Yeah.
I can smell it.